Well, good afternoon. This is Jim Whitehead of All Power Group and Phoenix Animal today. You know, I have a coffee channel also, although I love coffee and try to follow my adventure that I've had in reference to coffee, considering I didn't start drinking until 2017. That's for another day. Today, my favorite channel, of course, is my animal channel. And today we're going to talk about, it's a scary story about Pip, the doggy, and Jasper, the grumpy cat. And it's scary because you'll see as we get into it how important things are to have it where you have somebody there with you to lean on to make you feel a little bit better. In a cozy little house lived a grumpy cat named Jasper and a cheerful dog named Pip. Now, Jasper, with his sleek fur and emerald eyes, preferred solitude and sunbeams. At this point, he's like, I know there's something else here that's not a cat, but I really am not interested. I have my own life, and I enjoy what I do. Now, with Pip loved everyone. There you go. You can even look at him and say, he's saying, you know, I think everybody's wonderful, so why don't you think I'm wonderful? You know, I know probably animals sometimes do have an issue of saying, I like that other animal, but something isn't working well for us together. Anyway, as I said, Pip loved everyone and everything, especially Jasper. So he's saying, hey, I love Jasper and I want Jasper to love me. Every morning, Pip would wag his tail, hopefully at Jasper, who would respond with a dismissive hiss. Pip would bring Jasper his favorite squeaky toy, and Jasper would turn his nose up and stalk away. So poor Pip is saying, oh, come on. I'm even trying to share the most important thing in my life, and that's my best squeaky toy. And Jasper's saying, it doesn't cut anything with me. I could care less. I'm going to go off and do what I want to do. So Pip would try to initiate a game of chase. And what would happen is Jasper just said, geez, no way. Jasper would climb the highest bookshelf and glare down with disdain. So in other words, poor Pip brings his best toy. He tries to get something going in the sense of them being friendly and playing with each other. And Jasper's saying, I am not interested. So please, I'm going to climb away so I can see you, but I don't have to be near you. Okay. One rainy day in the afternoon, a loud clap of thunder shook the house. Pip, terrified of storms, whimpered and hid under the coffee table. Now, Jasper, again, being perched up on the mantle of the fireplace, she's saying, I'm fine here, I'm doing good. But she watched the trembling dog, Pip. He saw not now an annoying fur ball, but a creature in distress. So, here's Jasper saying, I guess I've been kind of mean to Pip, but I can see Pip is extremely afraid of the thunder and lightning. So, with a soft meow, Jasper leaped down and padded over to the coffee table. He squeezed himself under it next to the shivering Pip. He then did something he had never done before. He began to purr. And I know Pip is probably saying, I think this is a good sign. Rumbling sound. It was so rumbling, and it's saying, I hadn't heard this before from Jasper. Anyway, he nudged his head against Pip's, and the two of them huddled together, a small island of calm in the midst of the storm. And from that day on, something changed. Jasper still enjoyed his solitude, but now he would often find a sunbeam right next to Pip's favorite napping spot. Pip, in turn, learned that a gentle nudge was more welcome than a boisterous bark. They were an unlikely pair, a grumpy cat and a cheerful dog, but they had found in each other a friend. And that was a very happy thing indeed. So I think this is all, again, parallel to what happens, hopefully, with people and other animals, where they recognize in the long run it's better to be friends than to be enemies. That we all can gain a positive outlook on life by having a good friend that looks at life the same way. So, I want to thank you very much for being here and enjoying, hopefully, the scary story of Pip and Jasper. I want to thank you all for being here, and I'm hoping that you all are doing well and that life hopefully will stop getting more stable, I guess you might say, in what's happening in the world at this point in time. I guess that's why we enjoy doing our animal stories, because animals are just so nice, friendly, and fun to be with. So again, thank you very much, and I really appreciate you being here. Thank you.